Just check first of all that you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Howard.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi, Howard.
Hello there. Well, excellent. That's a good start. It starts with me to go on. First things first, we'll go COVID update meeting again today from the business. Well, there is a few things that I'd like to go through. So what I'll do is I'll just bring out some points and then we'll have an open session at the end and we'll discuss anything that you guys think needs to be brought up. First thing was, obviously, we had the incident over the weekend where certain members of staff were made aware of the fact that a network rail TQS had taken ill with displayed COVID-19 symptoms, then went and got tested, and lo and behold, had COVID-19. He'd been in contact with quite a few of our staff, he'd been on the machine, etc. So a decision was made that we would stand down all the staff who'd been in contact with this person and also the people who'd been in contact with the machine after they'd been on it. And I know for a fact that a lot of you people have gone out and already said get yourselves tested, got your immediate family, the people you share the house with tested, which is all very responsible and forward thinking of yourselves. We've now had the machine deep cleaned by a company called Ambipar, and that machine should be good for shift tonight. And I know the planners are looking at the rest of the week. Also on top of that, the biggest concern is the fact that this guy said he was displaying COVID-19 symptoms. He then went and got tested, and we found out because he rang a member of our staff and said, I've got COVID-19, I've had a test. And that's the only way we basically found out. So if this guy hadn't have rang, how long would it have been before we were made aware of the fact that our staff had been in contact with somebody who was proven to have this virus? So, on the back of that, I spoke to Tracy Blakely at Network Rail. She's going to look into it and see what kind of mechanism we can get in place so that anybody who does come in contact with you guys in this in our work environment who displays symptoms or believes they need to go for a test, she's going to look into how we are going to get that information passed back through. Luckily enough, tomorrow we've got a contract review meeting with Tracy and the rest of the staff from Network Rail, and this will be brought up and discussed there and then. So hopefully we'll get some kind of resolution to that, because as people have quite rightly said and expressed their concerns about, if this guy hadn't have run, we would never have known. We would just continue to put our staff in a situation of risk. We weren't the only ones. TGS also put some of their staff at risk because that TQS spoke to another TQS, spent some time with them, and then he went on their machine. So that dynamic of spread went from our machine to their machine just through a chance meeting and a bit of chat. So hopefully I'll get an answer on that, and from now on we'll get that information passed to us. Does anybody have any questions on what happened at the weekend with 80216? Hopefully I'll be able to answer them for you. No?
Yeah, Morris here. Yeah, I sent that email, mate. I weren't impressed with Network Rail not getting back to Belford Beatty within a timely manner when one of their guys was actually said that he was portraying or showing the COVID-19 symptoms. That could have saved a lot of hassle over the weekend, because he just said that on Friday that he's going to be tested. If Network Rail had got back, then we could have put a block on that machine for Saturday, Sunday. It's purely lucky that machine didn't work Sunday night. Saturday night, sorry.
Totally agree, Morris, and this is exactly what I said to Tracy. If this guy had been displaying the symptoms and they told us straight away, we could have reacted to it. Yeah. You know, they always take the opportunity to kick us for as many things as they humanly possibly can. And we need to go back to this. Whether it's been for a test or not, at that point, was irrelevant. What was relevant was the fact that the guy was showing the symptoms. Somebody in that organisation, even if it was just the guy himself, knew that. And they knew that even if he was showing the symptoms and he'd been in contact with our staff in our machine. I believe
this is the second time this has happened.
Right, I didn't know it was the second time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's the second time that this has happened, because Evo had the same scenario.
Right. And was that guy positive as well, or was he just a symptoms guy?
Anthony.
Yeah, no, it matters. The guys, if the person you come in contact with is showing symptoms a week after the shift, because obviously we don't know at that point, and we'll never know unless somebody tells us.
Yeah.
Because that guy might not work with us again for like 2 or 3 weeks, we don't know. But he might have had the opportunity to reflect our stuff. I totally agree with you, Morris. I've brought up with Tracy to be on the CRM, and also I need to speak to SEO 24/7 because they primarily are handling all of the COVID issues. So I have an 11:15 call with them, and that's something I need to put across. So we need to get that information back from the roots, especially because we're coming from a very low denominator, and that's not disrespecting anybody, but the TQS is, he might know he's got the symptoms, but he has to pass that information on. It's not going to be complete to Tracy Blakely if it doesn't go from the TQS up to the DU, up to the retailer, back to Tracy. It's not going to be complete to Tracy. If she hasn't got information in front of her, she can't tell us anything. So we need to make sure that mechanism is closed out somehow. But you're absolutely right, Morris. At some point, somebody knew that that guy had been infected, that he had shown symptoms. So let me chase that up with Tracy tomorrow on the CRM and SEO 24/7, and we'll see what we get back from them, and we'll push to get a mechanism in place that anybody shows symptoms, they that must pass us the details back if anybody who's been in contact with our machines or staff.
Lovely.
Yeah. Any more questions about 80216?
It's not a question, Howard. It's just for everybody who's getting involved with this, with 216. Morris especially. I can tell you, Neville reported it at 7 o'clock Friday morning. He told him he'd shown all the symptoms and he was going for the test, mate.
Yeah.
Did you get that, Morris?
Yes, mate.
All right.
Yes.
That's all.
He did send an email. Yeah, agree. And it's this traceability and accountability, like the back searching of who these people have been, which is the only way we can eventually defeat this kind of virus. So you're absolutely right. So regardless of whether he made the DU or the SEO, etc., where I imagine it'll be his DU that he's told, because these guys tend to work within the silos of the DUs. We'll still need to ensure that mechanism is fully closed and that this information gets back to us. So important. Okay, thanks for that, gents. Is there any more for 80216? No. I've just got a couple of general questions to ask you guys. Obviously, this is just from your own personal knowledge. Obviously, we've had the kind of, not relaxing, but a kind of different stance on the self-isolating, etc., from the government now. How are we getting on with hotels and food, etc.? Is that still the same? Has anybody got any instances where they're struggling to get food still?
Hiya. So Rob Old here.
Hello, Rob. All right, mate.
Oh, mate, yeah. Yeah, it was a banger the weekend, and the hotel that we was put in didn't have any food. I know the lads have been in there all week. The nearest hotel from that was over an hour away in Chester. So obviously I made the decision to stay in the hotel, which is 5 minutes away, and go to Morrison and get someone to eat. But I said to the other blokes, I would not stop there a week. It would have impacted on my hours if I'd used the hour and a half or an hour and whatever it is travel both ways. So we are getting hotels with no food in because that's all there is, and that's what a banger. Obviously the machine's not a banger anymore now, so it might not impact in the future, but it's still happening that we're not getting hotels that's got food.
So it's still pretty much the same there, is it?
Yeah, it hasn't changed. No hotels, the big chain, the IHGs are probably still open, but the other hotels aren't opening up yet. And to be fair, the hotel we stayed in, it was a dive. If I wasn't there for more than one night, I would never have stayed there. It was shocking. Yeah. It wasn't up to standard. You wouldn't have stayed there, I'm telling you that.
Hey, don't talk me with a posh boy brush. I'm from Newcastle, man.
Oh no, I didn't want to go into that bit. Come on, we're talking to everybody now. Yeah, I'm just highlighting that.
Fair enough.
That it's still up.
Everybody should be accommodated in a fashion that they used to, that they can get at home, etc., etc. And if it is a dive, you just need to close call it, report back to them, we'll have a look at it, and if necessary, get it taken off it, or like you said, it's just one night, then we'll be able to accept it. But nobody should be staying in some flea pit, rat-ridden hole.
If the machine hadn't been going out of Bangor, I wouldn't go back there again. Anyway, let's stop the conversation, me and you now.
Has anybody found any issues with eating fast food or restaurants, etc.? Have we seen any joy of them changing lately? I know up in Newcastle there's a few breads and subways, etc. have opened up. Just wonder if there's any different around the rest of the country. No, just the same.
Yeah, it's Rob again. Yeah, the local pizza place was open, and the kebab shop, and the chip shop was open. So there's no sit down restaurants, but obviously you can get certain takeaways.
The only trouble with that, Rob, is like everything else, mate. The food that is available is a quick service. It's full of fat. You're not getting any vegetables or goodness into you. I mean, I know what we, and like you say, I mean, Hayden and myself, we lived out of Morrison's when we was in Scotland using our own money, because the hotel food, I mean, I don't eat curries because I can't see what it's come from, and then there's no vegetables available. So
so it's still nutritionally poor.
Yeah,
fast food restaurants.
Like I said, I don't believe you should be having takeaways for a week, because that's wrong for your health. And it is difficult to get the correct food, even going to Morrison's, because you can't cook it. You're still only buying ready food, which is what Morris did for 2 weeks, I believe, in Scotland.
Yeah, I don't want to see another chicken as long as I live.
Well, it has. It's been very trying time for people. You guys have performed quite admirably during the whole of this issue that we've had with hotels and food, etc., etc. I know you don't always get the praise you deserve for that kind of thing, because it's difficult to be away from home, like you say, being up in Scotland or across in Wales, depending on where you are in the country. You're staying in not the greatest hotel. You're eating food that's come from a supermarket. It's not good. So well done all for that. Yeah, and obviously that is appreciated. I do bring it up with the exec, etc. I was just trying to get a taste of exactly how things are looking out there around the country. So that's about it from me, to be honest with you. Please feel free to fire in now with any questions that you've got, and I'll answer any that I can. If not, I'll take them away and get some answers for you. Now's your chance.
Yeah, it's Rob again. Did Andrew Stevens say something that he was going to look into the wages problems?
Oh, sorry.
Going to get an answer today.
I've created the spreadsheet that's been sent off to pay bills, etc., etc. That's come through through Andrew Stevens. Basically, the instruction is get this paid in as payment as quickly as you can, either today or tomorrow. I haven't heard back from Andy Stevens, to be honest with you. We've told them not worry about the pay slips, etc. They can repair the pay slips next month. What we want to see is the money in the going to people's banks today or tomorrow. So let me chase that up as well, Rob. I'll send Andy and Stuart, etc., an email just to get any confirmation of that. You're absolutely right, because we sent that off this morning, but I haven't heard anything back since it was sent.
Yeah, I'll just check my bank before I come onto this call, and it hasn't gone. Nothing's gone in there yet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No problem.
Absolutely no problem. But I don't want to be in this call. Really don't want to be in this call apologising to people about pay. But unfortunately, that's a position I find myself in. After 2.5 years, we still can't get the fucking pay right. Louise has submitted everything as it should be submitted. Your line manager's checked them all as it was supposed to be checked, and it's gone in. And not only do we need to get paid as soon as possible, but we also need to make sure that going forward, for God's sake, try and get the blood and the lads and lasses pay correct. I've sat in the gate 6, I've sat with the exec, I've heard people make a statement, if you want to piss people off, pay them incorrectly. And yet it seems to happen month on month on month on month. And we're one big organisation. I won't be rude, but I don't really give a shit about anybody else's part of the business. I only care about what you guys get paid and make sure you get paid correctly. And there's some astronomical sums of money missing. That, I'll be honest with you, if my pay was missing some of that kind of money, I'd be in big trouble. You know, £900, etc.
Yeah, can I just come in? No. What I'm going to say now is that we've just lost a brilliant bloke in Gary Llewellyn. I'm not saying the wages was the reason he went, but I'm telling you now, he was a massive contributory factor in he's allowed himself to talk to other companies because he's not happy here because of the little things, and it's the little things which have built up, and now we've lost him now because things like wages are incorrect, and those little things have built up, and this is going to affect other people over the period of time. They will leave as well because they will allow their heads to be turned because we can't get the simple things right. Anyway, that's my bit of a say on that.
I totally agree with you that, Rob. I mean, this pay issue has been going on from virtually day one when we had meetings up in Newcastle with Dave Gillane and Howard and all them. So it's not a new thing, but for a company the size of Balfour Beatty that can't get it right, it just beggars belief.
I honestly believe it's because the company is the size of Balfour Beatty as well. The smaller individual contracts
and the amount of people now that which I mean, the management don't see the amount of people though now that are waiting till this COVID-19 is suppressed, and then I think we got to be in deep shit basically because some key workers, some key employees will be looking for jobs elsewhere because of these pay issues, and it worries me.
I can do something about the pay issues. I can chase that up and get that as slick and as accurate as possible. I can't stop other people from looking elsewhere for jobs. That's entirely up to the people who work here. If people make a decision to leave, then, you know, so be it. But I can only do what's within my power. And like I say, I can't stop people from going looking at their jobs. If you feel that way, by all means, give us a ring and we'll chat about the issues you've got as to why you feel you need to move on from the business. I'll try and give you as much time as I can. But I'd rather you're honest and open about it and come and speak to us. Now, there's nothing I can do, and the grass does look green on the other side. Then, you know, that's fair enough. I'm willing to accept that. Sometimes, you know, people's heads can be turned by better offers, by better hours, by better money, and unfortunately, we are stuck within this gigantic machine that is Balfour Beatty, where not even individuals' contracts sometimes seem to get gobbled up and forgotten about. But that's what the management get paid for, to try and sort these issues out, to be honest with you. The pay issues, yes, they have been going on since day one. The problem we've got is, when we have a pay issue, it never seems to be the same pay issue we had the month before, the month before that, and the month before that. If that makes sense. Like this one comes around new, we've had bank holidays before, which have been paid, and now all of a sudden they're not paid. And I know COVID and everybody's working from home, and that makes things a little bit more difficult. But I'm not really interested. All I'm interested in getting you guys paid correctly. That's all that matters on this side of things. I'm not interested in excuses. I'm not interested in the reasons of when and why we weren't paid properly. I'm just interested in getting that pay sorted out and make sure that in future we have some kind of semblance of normality to people's pay. So I'll be honest with you, please don't think I'm poo-pooing you off or paying you or anything. I get just as sick as you do if you're about your fucking pay issues. Excuse me, friend, sorry, about your pay issues. Not because I get sick of you guys, but because I get sick of the fact that we're letting you down. And that's as simple as that. But I'll chase that up with Andy and Stu and see where we are, and we'll get a general comms out. It'll probably be sometime tomorrow morning as to the state of play with getting these back payments, etc. sorted out for you guys. Any more questions for this evening, ladies and gents?
Hi, Howard. Can you hear me? It's Scott here.
It's who, sorry?
Scott Sinclair.
Hello, Scott. You all right, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. I've just got a question. Obviously, like people lodging away in hotels where you can't get food and stuff. Like myself personally, I know there's a few other people as well. I'm not happy to pay out my own pocket to get takeaways and stuff like that. So is there any reason why we can't have a payment made before we have to lodge away somewhere when we can't get food of £25 per night plus £10 for breakfast before we go anywhere?
Scott, I'll be honest with you, we have been down this line before and the business just, we'll try to get this over the line and it just didn't happen. It really doesn't. I don't want to be on this call and say I look at it when I know for a fact, Scott, that we've looked at this before, we've looked at it with things like tolls and fuel, etc. And we just can't get it to happen.
Because obviously, like where I'm lodging, I was down in Cornwall last week and I had to lodge in Plymouth. And then that was like an hour's transit, an hour's driving down to the machine and back to the hotel each night. And week 9, I'm back down to Cornwall again, and it's even further down to Cornwall. Yeah. There's at the moment, there's no hotels or anything open. So obviously, I'll be lodging in Plymouth again. You know, it's like, I mean, it's obviously we do quite a lot of nights, and if I'm lodging away for X amount of weeks, where I can't get food, and I want to, because obviously we want to lodge next to the machines, because you don't want to be travelling for an hour and a half, 2 hours to the machine. I might as well just stay at home.
However, it's Stuart Park here. The only thing I would add to that is if Scott's own household terms and conditions, in their terms, I think it's a maximum 1.5 hours travel to your workplace, and if you're lodging, it's half an hour, I think it is, from your hotel.
Yeah, so I mean, so obviously last week I was travelling an hour to get to the machine, and obviously after shift an hour back to the hotel, and then next week the machine's down at St Earth, and if the hotels aren't open again, I'm going to be lodging in Plymouth again, and I believe it's about hour and 45 minutes down to St Earth to Plymouth, something like that.
Okay. So is the issue the fact that you've got to pay for the food, or is the issue the fact that you're lodging too far away from the machine?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously the thing is, with all this, I mean, with us, all I've heard people trying to claim expenses back is bad things. Like they've waited weeks and weeks and weeks not getting expenses back, or else they're getting queried as to receipts and whatever, and then getting things rejected, and then having to resubmit them and all sorts of things. So that's one of the reasons I don't want to be doing trying to claim expenses back whatsoever. Also as well, I've just emailed, I can't remember the woman's name now, about the PP orders. We just sent out a new PP order form. Obviously, there's loads of stuff on the PP order form that all come under the same head. You've got body warmers, I think there's about 2 or 3 different body warmers on there, trousers, boots, all that sort of stuff. And I emailed and asked, is there a catalogue so that I can see what I'm trying to order? And apparently, if I don't have access to Oracle, which I don't, I can't have access to the catalogue to see what I need to order. So how am I supposed to order PP? Am I supposed to order loads of different things and send back what it is that's not suitable for me?
Right, okay, just 2 seconds. You know what I mean? We've got 2 different items going on here. We've got the expenses.
I know.
All right, mate, we'll deal with them both. We'll deal with them both. So expenses, to be honest with you, there was a bit of a kick and backside point to start with. But as far as I know now, you should be getting expenses turned around fairly quick to go through your line manager or Louise, etc. Go straight in Oracle, gets processed, it should come straight into your bank. There has been occasions when receipts, etc. have been queried, and that is simply because we've got to conform to the financial controls that are in place. Everything's got to make sense from a financial point of view. If we get audited and there's a claim that isn't how it should be, we would be in big trouble. That's to protect yourselves as well as the business, to be honest with you. But I'm hoping, is Andy Davies or Steve on the line?
I'm on. Howard.
Yeah, I'm hoping, Andy, that generally speaking, we should be able to get these expenses turned around in a few days, don't we?
Well, Howard, when I get the expenses through from the guys, literally I send them on to Louisa. If they haven't got access to Oracle themselves, Louisa uploads them for us. Depending on what time of day I receive them, I approve them and send them in the same day, if not first thing the next morning, and Louisa uploads them straight away and sends back an ID number. Now, if people aren't being, and that's it as far as we're concerned, it's then down to the process up in Newcastle to pay it into the relevant person's bank. I don't know what happens after the approval stage. So if anybody on here can tell me that, although they've had an email back from their line manager or Louisa saying that they've been approved and uploaded into the Oracle system, have had to wait weeks for it, please let us know.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any.
Okay. So if you give that a try, Scott, like I say, I'll be honest with you. I'll ask a question about like a float or whatever, but I know we've had this kickback without any kind of debate before. As for the PPA catalogue, is Louisa on?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Louisa.
Hiya.
Do we have an electronic copy of the PPA catalogue that we can send out by email?
I have sent that out some times ago. I still have it if they need it. I can send it out to everyone after the call.
Can the guys see exactly what's on it? I know it sounds silly, but can they see?
Yeah, I have the e-catalogue link, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you send that? We'll send that out, and just once again on the Stoneblower comms, so that everybody can have a look at it. Because I know it's one of these things that does seem to change pretty big on a week. So can you send that out sometime either this afternoon or tomorrow, please, Louisa?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay. Thanks very much. Is there anything else, Scott?
Yeah, sort of a pain. Obviously, I've received one of these new helmets, these new fangled helmets that pump air into it and everything. And obviously, I was just wondering, because obviously it's got filters in it and stuff, but there's no spare kit in it. So obviously, when the filters run out, how long is it going to take to get spare filters when I need to change the filters?
Great shout.
And whatever else needs changing.
Great shout, because we have them spare filters on the machine, ready to go if your filter flashes up red or whatever. Yeah, agreed. Is Sam Beveridge on tonight?
Howard, can I cut in here? It's Andy.
Go on, mate.
The last time I was up in stores, I had a chat with Colin. There is a limited amount of spares up in the stores at the moment. The last I heard from Tony Withy, who organised all the ordering and everything, was there was meant to be a kit of filters, etc., per person.
Yeah.
The stumbling block was how they were going to be stored in a bag. Anyway, I don't know what happened. I've got to I've already chased up with Tony. I'm waiting for him to get back to me. What it might be, Howard, is that we just need to order a load of spares and keep them in stores.
Absolutely, and if you speak to Tony, you don't get a joy over that. By say close up day Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll give him a call again. I'll give him a call again tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's a great point, Scott. It's a great point. We'll have a look at that. Let's get them in place so that, like you say, once you're fit.
Sorry about pain, but
that's not
should we not have spare filters for ourselves rather than being in stores? Because obviously, when the filter's alarming, it's needing changing. You need to change it, not phone up.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying, Scott, there should have been a pack issued to each person when those helmets were issued. Unbeknown to us, they weren't within the bag that it all came in. So leave that with us, mate. We'll get them out to everybody.
Okay.
Great shout, mate. Great shout. Okay, ladies and gents, is there anything else that anybody needs to discuss today? No? Excellent. Well, thanks for your time then. Keep up the good work. Make sure you stay safe. And I think the next time we speak will probably be on Friday's call. That will be taken by Mr. Andy Stephen. Excellent. Thanks all. Appreciate your time.